Hello and welcome to Learn English by Listening. I'm Zaya and I'm so excited for today's episode.
And I'm Alex. Today's episode is called Using Public Transport, and we're doing something a little different.
That's right, we've left the studio and we are actually out and about in the city today, ready to explore. We're going to be your travel buddies.
Exactly. We'll be using buses, trains, and the subway to show you the real practical English you need to navigate a new place.
We'll cover everything from reading schedules and buying tickets to politely asking for help when you're lost. So, are you ready? Let's get started.
Okay, Zia, our first challenge, the city bus. We're at a bus stop now, and the first thing we need to do is figure out which bus we need to take to get to the city museum.
Right. Most bus stops have an information board with schedules and route maps, but sometimes they can be confusing. The easiest way to be sure is just to ask someone.
Let's practice that. A simple and polite way to start is, "Excuse me." Then you can ask the key question. Which bus goes to the city museum?
That's perfect. Or you could say, "Excuse me, I'm trying to get to the city museum. Can you help me?" Most people are happy to help.
Okay, now that we know we need the number 12 bus, let's look at the schedule. If we want to know when it's arriving, we can ask, what time does the next bus leave?
Exactly. And look, here comes our bus now. Time to think about tickets. As we get on, we can ask the driver a very important question.
How much is a ticket to the city museum? In some cities, you can pay the driver directly with cash or a contactless card. In others, you might have to buy a ticket from a machine at the bus stop before you board.
That's a great point. You also need to know what kind of ticket you want. You can say, "I need a one-way/return ticket." A one-way ticket, which is sometimes called a single, gets you to your destination. A return ticket lets you travel there and back again.
Right, so we've paid and we're on the bus. Now to find a seat. The bus is a little crowded. If you see a seat next to someone, it's always polite to ask, "Is this seat free?" or "Is anyone sitting here?"
Yes, definitely. Okay, our stop is next. Time to get off and head to our next destination. And here we are at the city's main train station. Wow, it's so much bigger and busier than the bus stop. It can be a little overwhelming.
It really can. First things first, if you were trying to find this place, you would ask someone on the street, "Where is the train station?" But since we're already inside, we need to find our platform.
Let's look for the big departure board. It's usually a large screen that shows all the leaving trains. It lists the destination, the departure time, and most importantly, the platform number.
Okay, I see it. We want to go to Northwood. The board says it leaves at 3:15 from platform 4. But first, we need tickets. Let's go to the ticket counter and practice.
Okay, I'll be the ticket seller. Go ahead, Alex.
Hello, I'd like 2 return tickets to Northwood, please.
Certainly. That will be $20, please.
Here you are. And just to confirm, what time does the next train leave?
The next train to Northwood leaves in 10 minutes from platform 4.
Perfect. Thank you. See? It's that easy.
Now we're on platform 4, and the train has just pulled in. But wait, there are a lot of stops on this line. It is always a good idea to double-check you're getting on the right train.
Right. You can ask a station employee or even another passenger. A very useful phrase is, "Excuse me, does this train stop at Northwood?" This can save you from a lot of trouble.
It really can. Once you're on board, listen for announcements. They'll tell you what the next station is.
We're about halfway through our journey, and this seems like a perfect moment for a quick break.
It does. If you're finding this episode of Learn English by Listening helpful for your language journey, please take a moment to like this podcast and subscribe to our channel.
Your support really helps us create more practical content just like this for you. Okay, our next stop is underground. Let's go find the subway.
And here we are, in the subway station. You might hear it called the metro or the underground, depending on which country you're in.
That's right. The first thing you'll notice is the map. It looks like a complex web of colorful lines. Don't panic. The key is to find your current station and your destination station.
Each colored line represents a different route. So if we want to get to the Grand Theater, we can see on the map that it's on the blue line. Our current station is on the red line, so we'll need to find where those two lines intersect to change trains.
And we need to know which direction to go. Look for signs that say northbound or southbound, or that list the final station on the line. For the Grand Theater, we need the blue line going northbound.
Buying tickets here is usually done at a machine. It's a similar process. You select your destination and ticket type. Let's do a quick recap of the most important phrases we've learned today. Alex, you asked the questions this time. That covers the main public transport systems, but you know, Alex, there's one more common way to get around the city that we haven't covered yet. Taxis or ride-sharing services. They're a bit different from buses and trains because you're interacting one-on-one with the driver.
Okay, I'm at the bus stop. Which bus goes to the library?
You need the number 7 bus.
How much is a ticket?
It's $2 for a single journey.
Great. Now I'm at the train station. What time does the next train to the airport leave?
The next one is at 4:30 p.m. from platform 2.
And finally, before I get on, excuse me, does this train stop at the airport?
No, this is the express train. You need the next one. See? That last question is so important.
And that brings us to the end of our journey and our episode for today. We've successfully navigated the city using a bus, a train, and the subway.
We hope this practical, real-world lesson has helped you feel much more confident about using public transport in an English-speaking country. The most important thing to remember is that practice makes perfect.
Totally. Don't be afraid to ask for help. A simple, "Excuse me, can you help me?" goes a long way. And before we sign off, one last time, if you enjoyed this episode, please show your support by liking and subscribing to Learn English by Listening. It means the world to us.
Join us next week, where we'll be sharing more real-life learning situations using polite language. Until then, keep practicing.